Hi everybody, this is Pramita here, and as I said in the first part, this is going to be just gluing down the papers, showing you the basic construction, because it is a very easy project. Trust me, you will finish it in a day if you do not want to add a ton of embellishments or decorative lace clusters and stuff like that. The basic structure takes only a day. But I have selected the papers that I'm going to add, and I'm just going to go through them quickly. So here are the papers. So what I've done is, this is going to be the back of my journal. Okay, so this is how the back is going to look. This is going to be on the back, and I'm going to show you the front cover that I have already planned. So this is going to be my front cover. Okay, so it might look a little bit messy right now, but once we get things rolling a bit, it's going to look okay. Now I'm not going to ink it right away. I will decide what to do later on, because I might just do a slight inking using not vintage photo but antique linen. So antique linen will just give a hint of color, not too much. It's not going to be very grungy. So this is going to be the front cover. So what I have decided is, what I am doing, the simplest process that you can go about making a journal like this is just glue the paper on the cover and then stitch around it, because if you do not want to stitch, then it's fine. You can just apply a generous coat of glue and then put this down. Okay, since I am stitching this, so I will be stitching this on the paper itself. Now again, there is another technique where you stitch these pieces of paper like these ones. If you're afraid of messing up, you can stitch around this paper and then glue it down on the page. But I'm not doing that, because that's going to take up a little bit of more time, and we want to finish this quickly. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to show you how the things are going to look. So this is the front cover, and what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to, now I don't go till the edges, because I'm going to use my sewing machine, just the center a little bit, so that it sits properly. So I'm going to open this up. So when you're gluing this, be mindful of this fact, and I'm going to leave a little bit at the bottom, so that there is a little bit of gap. And so what I'll do is, I think I'm going to take off a little bit from both the sides, so that a little bit of white peeks through, just a sliver. It is totally up to you. This is how I do things. You don't have to do it the same way, but basic idea is this. So I'm just taking a sliver off. I don't stitch anything ahead of time, because as I said, if once you start stitching and gluing right away, things might get a little bit difficult for you. So what I'll do is, I hope you can see this. I'm just trying to maneuver this. A little bit of white is going to show through, not much. So once I stitch, everything is going to look fine. So this is going to be the cover, and there is a little bit of extra on the side. So once I stitch it down, I'm going to trim this down, not before that, because then I will know how much paper has been used actually. But what happens is, sometimes when I stitch around, the paper is pushed to peek through, or it falls short. So I'm not going to take that chance. I'm just going to do it this way. So this is going to be the cover, and at the back, what I've done is, this is my lace collection, I need to trim this a little bit, so I'm going to use my so I'm going to trim this a little bit. This is the lace collection, lace papers that I have in my shop. There are 2 sets and I have used them generously. You will see throughout, because it is compatible with all sorts of designs that you're working on. You know, it instantly gives a kind of very dainty look, and this is how I'm going to use it. Okay, but I don't need this much, so when I'm folding this, I'm just looking at this portion. Okay, I don't need this portion this much, so what I'll do is I'll just I had a pencil somewhere, yeah. So this is how much I need. I'm going to mark it over here, and then so I have this extra lace bit that I can use in my other project, or maybe make a journal card, you know, and it is a very beautiful looking piece of paper. So we're going to do that, and this is what we need. Okay, and I'm just going to place it over here, and this will close up. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. As I said, I'm not going to go till the edge, because then my sewing machine will gunk up, and I'm just to fix it, nothing else. So I'm going to put this down, push this a little bit more towards the top. I hope I'm in frame, otherwise it defeats the purpose. Okay, but I have a little bit of glue showing through, so I'm not going to fold this portion up. So here you can see I have a little bit extra. I'm going to trim this down. You don't have to be perfect with all the pages. In fact, from my personal advice, a personal experience, I will advise not to make each of the pages exactly same. You keep them at different heights. It's going to look better. So this is how it's looking. So now I will stitch around the whole thing, but this is going to be our pocket, so I need to put something over here. So what I decided is I'm going to put this over here. Now this is not from my kit, this is from some papers I had in my stash. You can look into your stash. This is most probably from Len Art Studio, somewhere. Yeah, I think she has this kit. I don't remember the name of the kit, but I'm sure this is from her shop. I'll put a link to that, don't worry. So I'm going to put this, so it's going to look very cohesive, trust me, because I have designed the kits in such a way. My kits cannot be used as a single big 2 signature or 3 signature journal, that's true, but you can make smaller projects, and I think that is very important, you know, because it has to be accessible and doable for most of the people. So as you can see, I'm not inking anything, I'm just laying this down, and trust me, it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, so I'm going to take off this extra bit. See, I have not glued anything down. I'm not going to glue anything down, because I always do that towards the end. Okay, so this is how our thing is looking. Now I want this glue to be taken off or at least dried. So I'm going to leave it like this, and we're going to move on to the next fold out page. Now remember one thing, when you're putting the pocket down, just don't put it upside down if you have a directional pattern, or if you have something like this. This is from my cool toned one. It doesn't matter which way you put through, and I'll show you how you can use those in pockets also. So I have some scraps that I'm going to keep aside. So what I usually do is, now I'm letting you on to all my secrets. This is not a scrap, this is going to be used up. So this is how I clip the scraps on one side, so that they can be used again in some other project. So now we are going to be using another pocket that we have created, another faux paper bag. Okay, and in this one we're going to be using this as a pocket, and we're going to decorate this. You can make it a double pocket like this. Maybe we'll make it a double pocket. Let's look nice. Okay, and yeah, so we can do that totally. So let's start off by gluing the main page. So the same thing again, it is very simple, trust me. I came up with this idea because I found that, you know, you don't need to have too much, you spend too much time on making a simple journal which is going to look awesome, but you can, you know, decorate this much more also. And I'm just going to show you the basics, and then you can take it from there. So this is a little bit white, and what I'll do is take this off, and I'm going to just take off a sliver, and I'm not going to show each and every one on camera. I'm just going to show a few, and then if I have something special to say about some of the ones, then I'll probably do that on camera, like the double pocket. Okay, so that side is done. Now stitching we'll do later on. Okay, and this is how the pocket, the top part is looking. So I'm going to take this off like so. Yeah, so I'm going to take this, mark this. I hope you can see. Yeah, where did I mark it? Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to mark it from the top, and then bottom, and then from the top also. I'm going to take this bit off. Okay, this is because I want a certain part of the lace to show through. Otherwise I could have just, you know, chopped it off from the top. I want both the part, you know, the wavy part of the lace to come through in the page itself. So I'm going to trim a little bit. Now, I'm not big on measurements, as you can see, but after working on journals for so long, you just, yeah, so this is how it's going to look. Let me glue this down, and then we'll trim off the extra part. So how is everybody doing? I think we'll be able to finish this in another go, where we'll just assemble the journal, and you know, the ephemera part will be easy one. Like if you want them to be stitched, if you want them to be, just moving this. So I will also try and show you some simple journals that you can make during the holidays. You can gift them, very simple ones. so I don't need this, and I can just trim this down a bit. So you can see how easy it is. You know, you don't need to have a lot of expertise. So this is another page. You can put a photo here, you can put a journal card or whatever. You can do a tipping sort of thing. You know, if you have a journal card, I have trimmed some of the cards down. Just let me show you. So if you have a card, you can just use some washi. You can journal over here and add another dimension. So we just need to work on the pocket. So for the pocket, now since we are making this layered pocket, what I personally would like to do is again strengthen the lip. So what I'll do is I'll just strengthen as much as possible, and then we are good to go. So this will be stitched. So the stitching part will obviously come later, as I said, and I will also show you how you can make. Okay, so then just need to take this off. Now we have this. Now I will not be putting another lip paper over here. Why? You know, because this is going to be directly glued on this. Okay, so automatically this becomes a very sturdy paper. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is just make sure I'm not going to use this. Sorry, this was the one that we were planning on using, because this is a little bit shorter and this is a little bit wider. So let me mark the pocket, and then like so. So now we're going to take off the extra, and you can see for yourself how little time it takes. Now you can probably say, Pramita, you make journals quickly. That's true if you keep on making, but honestly this is also not going to take up a lot of time. You know, you can do it very quickly. It doesn't take much. It actually, you know, it's very easy to make a complicated journal, but it's difficult to make a very simple journal and look very appealing. So this is going to be our thingy, and I'm just going to glue this paper over here, and yeah. So, and this one is going to be stitched like this. So you can see for yourself. I'll probably put a little bit of some word phrase or something Christmassy on top. So again, we have finished another page. So you can see how quickly you can finish these pages. So I'll come back to you after I have glued everything down, stitched the pages and the pockets, and we will do the smaller bits. Remember the cutoffs I talked to you about? I have selected some papers for those, but those are going to be directly, you know, they are going to be like pocket pages sort of thing. So I will be using a lot of cutoffs, extras that I have, so I will be using those, and I will show you how I do that in the next part. And let me finish gluing and stitching the bigger pages, and I'll come back to show you how to work on the smaller elements, smaller pockets, smaller pocket pages. Okay, so keep watching. I'll be coming back soon. So I'm back after stitching everything down, the bigger pages. Just let me take my chair. Incidentally, my chair is broken and I need to get it fixed, but anyways, so I'll just show you what I've done. So this was the one I did as a you know, demo sort of thing, just to give you an idea. So this is going to be the back page, this is going to be the front page, but I will have a smaller flap on the front. I'll just show you in a minute what I mean by that. And then since this is a dark colored page, I'm going to probably put this one as the next page. And this page, I found it was a little bit, you know, I could add a lace pocket to it. So I had this lace fabric. This has been tea dyed. This fabric, this is called chicken curry, not chicken curry, but chicken fabric it's called. It's hand stitched, and I use these kind of things very sparingly, but of course this is a special occasion, so you can use things like this. So I have used this, but I've not trimmed out the extra bit, and I'll show you the rest, how things are going to go. And this is going to be the last page where I'm going to be adding this. So this is not from my kit, but the others are, other elements are. So this is how the book is looking. Now I need to trim this off, and what I'll do is I'll use my scissors. Now I kept this extra because I was not sure how much I will be requiring, so I decided, okay, let me keep this a little bit extra. Then I'm going to fold this, and so since it's already stitched, I have to tilt my scissors a little bit and be very mindful of the fact that I don't trim off the paper itself. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to keep these, make some lace clusters or fabric clusters or whatever, and this is how it's going to be looking. So this is how the 4 pages are looking. Now I will be adding extra pages, the cut-offs that I had, because I had used a huge paper pack. I will show you what I've used. I had used this is an artist grade paper. So this is the paper that I was talking about. It's a huge paper. This is I think this is A3 size. Just a bit, I just bumped against a camera. No, I don't have the size over here, maybe inside. Yeah, so this is 42 centimeters by 29.7 centimeters. This is a very thick kind of paper, and it's huge. These are actually drawing papers. So this is the cover, and the cover is also very pretty. So I have used that. So I had a few leftovers, as I said. So what I decided to do was use them as pages also. So here I have one of the cut-off bits, and I plan on adding this. Now this is one of the images from the kit, the Ephemera Kit, and I printed that on vellum. You don't need to print that on vellum. You can print it on paper, and then you can add that. So I'm going to be adding this. So maybe I'm going to trim this a little bit. I don't want this to be so big. It's kind of too big. I'm going to trim that, because what I want is, I want a kind of flappy sort of thing, but I also want the little girl to show through. So I'll probably make it like this. Now this is just tweaking around, because your size of the journal might not be same as the one that I'm making, but it's going to work in all sorts of journals. I'm just going to take off the extra bit, because I don't want this to be too wide, as I said. So I'll have this over here. Now you can see why I mean to have this narrow, because I want this best wishes for Christmas to show through. I also want this face to show through, and I want this bird on top of this. So I'm going to layer this. Okay, I'll just show you what I mean. I'm going to glue this part, trim this extra bit off, and then I'm going to put this bird over here. Okay, and something over here. I've not decided on that yet. So that's how the first flap is going to look, and I'm going to add this, glue this, but I'm also going to let the glue dry a little bit, because I don't know why my sewing machine never used to have problems like this, but these days I am a bit mindful of the fact that it's getting older, and I need to be more careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off the extra bit that I have. Okay, let me use my ruler and trim this off. I hope I'm in the frame. Yeah. So it's a quirky habit that I have developed because I'm so out of frame sometimes that I try to make sure. Oh my god, I broke a bit of the craft knife. Anyways, so this is done, and now I'll be putting this over here, and I'll add some lace cluster or something. The lace clusters will come later once I have decided on what I want to do. So this is going to be stitched, but before it gets stitched, I just want to put a dab of glue. Now if you are curious to know how I print on vellum, then of course not always I am successful. Let's be honest. It depends from printer to printer. If your printer is very temperamental, then it will not work as you want this to be. So I want this to be at the back. This was just a scrap. As I said, I'm not going to throw the scraps away. And what I'll do is I'll put a bit of lace over here when I'm stitching them. So I'm trying to put this more towards the top, so if there is a little bit of gap, it doesn't matter. So how is everybody doing? I have been struggling so much with my health issues. I really pray that everybody is well. And you know, if you are unwell, then nothing makes sense anymore, you know. Anyways, so I'm just going to take this bit off, and yeah, so I'll have a little bit of lace peeking through. I'll show you what I mean. I have this is a very old lace. I use it very sparingly anyways, but I think I can use something like this. So what we'll do is, when we put the cover journal like this, it's going to be like this, and I'm sure it's going to look nice, so no worries about that. We'll add more lace along the way. So there's one pocket. It needs to be stitched, of course. So I'll work on the other pockets, and as you can see, I've not glued these pockets down because see, remember I told you I'm going to create a double pocket. I did in fact create a double pocket, and I have placed that beside these deep Prussian blue page, because then everything is going to be balanced out. Again, if I turn this, there is a little bit of color, and I've tried to match the colors, you know, sort of the blue bringing out that blue. So I try to play with a little bit of colors and layers and textures, more some things like this. And if you ever have owned a journal, or ever have, you know, have a journal made by me, you will know there are lots of textures, layers, and things that will be going inside a journal that I'm making. So I have been working on another blue folio, packaging folio, that I shared. Incidentally, that I have put that on hold for a few days, but I have finished another journal which is going to have a proper flip through of its own, but I could not resist showing it to you people. I already have this done and it just needs listing. So this is the journal, and it's totally made from brown paper, the craft paper bag I told you about, and a lot of packaging. So it is absolutely gorgeous, and I have the tie ready over here. I just need to put this to a flip through, and we will be good to list this in my shop. So I hope as it finds a good home, because it is gorgeous. It has 2 signatures, tons of ephemera, lots of interactive pages. It will do, I will do a independent flip of this, but I just couldn't resist showing this to my you know, viewers. So this is it. So in the meantime, what we are going to do is I'm going to cover up those half pages, that half portions that we have, and I'm going to stitch around them, come back, and then in the next part I'll show you how you can make ephemera for the pockets that they're going to be, because there's going to be a lot of pockets. So there's going to be one pocket over here, one big pocket over here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, one big pocket, 9, 10, 11. So there are going to be 11 pockets plus the 4 extra thingies that we have now. 4, 3, yeah, 11, 14, 15 pockets we'll have. I'm going to show you how to make mini notebook sort of thing with fabric cover using packaging. So keep watching for those things. They're going to come in the next part. So I'll show you how you can put together packaging notebook as a cover. So thank you everybody for watching this. I don't want to make this too long. There will be more videos coming, so keep watching, and if you've not yet subscribed, then please subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and I'll be back soon to show the second part of making ephemera.